Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We are handling more trucking information today. I have a lot of guys asking cost per mile. That's what today is. Today behind me I got some information from what it costs per mile. How you figure it up, how you do it. Got some kind of information that might be questionable by some. Everybody's got different operations, so I know there's gonna be a lot of comments on it, that's for sure. But cheat sheet here. We're gonna start it off with the board behind me. I kind of pre-filled it out, but we'll kind of run through it. I know there's a light right there. It's dark out, it's been raining all week, so hey, that's how it works, you know. We're gonna start out insurance over here. 79.83 a year. That's gonna be this is kind of like the group I call it, you know, you don't have a whole lot of options. This is gonna be $22.90 heavy highway use tax. That's standard for everybody else. It's $5.50 a year. The $13.93 tag, that's going to be a little bit different for everybody, but that's what ours is. This tag, I need to make a video on it, but tag's based off of what miles you ran last year, what states you ran in, kind of goes off last year's information. So it changes, not much year to year, but it does change. Insurance, different by state. I've heard some states are ridiculous. So ours, supposedly North Carolina here, supposed to be pretty good. I don't know. I know it's a lot cheaper now than it was when I first started. I can tell you that, like half, because we've been watching our stuff, trying to keep everything safe. As always, not get in trouble. It pays off in the long run. Maintenance. This is where it's gonna get, man. You guys are waiting for. I know you are, but maintenance is gonna be a big thing that you have to figure out yourself. This is rough numbers. This is what. If you do some of the work yourself, it's going to be cheaper. If you let a most expensive shop where you live work on your stuff, it's going to be a heck of a lot more. So very questionable numbers here, but this is kind of roughly figuring up maintenance. So 18 tires, about $380 a piece. That's not a high dollar Michelin, nothing like that. It's a pretty cheap tire. 6840, and then mostly if you're buying that cheap of a tire, are going to last about 150,000 miles. Oil changes, 300 bucks. That's pretty much anywhere you go. You can do them cheaper. I do mine cheaper at the house, but I have been sometimes on the road, get them done. They're about 300 bucks. Speedco, you know, pretty happy with those guys when they do my stuff. 15,000 miles. You might go longer, might go shorter. There for a while I was doing mine at 10,000. 15,000 is kind of where we kind of are now. Brake jobs, $600 per axle. Parts aren't nowhere near that, so if you do it yourself, you can save a lot of money in this area. Downside is it's big, bulky, heavy. You know, it's brake job. They're dirty. $600 an axle. That's about half, believe it or not. That's kind of like the midpoint. I called a local shop, and they were cheaper, and I've called the big shop nearby, and they were $1,200 an axle. So that's halfway in the middle. So I think brakes, they last about 300,000 miles. That's kind of what we've been going on. You know, that's gonna be all about if you're driving a lot of city, driving a lot of highway, gonna change. Motor, another one of those things you have to figure out kind of yourself, but our motor is about $20,000 and they last longer than 600,000 miles, but here on the board here I put 600,000 because within the time frame of owning a truck, you're going to do turbos, you're going to do exhaust manifolds, you're going to do things to that motor in general that are going to make, you know, about 20 grand every 600,000 miles, in my opinion. So that's what that's like a reman motor, but like I said, you're going to get more out of it, but I think that's a safe assumption there. Transmission's going to be about 5 grand. That's for a reman unit. You're going to same deal. It's going to last more than 600,000 miles, but you're also going to be doing a clutch in between then. You're going to be doing rear main seal most likely at some point. You're going to be in there touching that thing. So overall, it's kind of going to end up being that way. Miscellaneous, belt hoses, coolant, stuff like that. Per year, you're going to probably spend about $1,000. I mean, that's kind of one of those things you don't know. It might be more. It's going to be at least $1,000 most likely. Brings us over here to it's all figured up on 100,000 miles a year. So, on average, I know there's guys that get more miles. If you're an owner operator, if you're getting a lot of miles, you ain't making a whole lot of money usually. I know that's a statement that people are going to be upset about, but that's how some things go. I figure 48 weeks out of the year, average owner operator is going to take at least 4 weeks of vacation or downtime with this truck. He's going to do something. He's not working a full 52. 5 miles to the gallon. Most vehicles get better than that. We always figure off of 5. That's worst case scenario. You're usually going to get a little bit better than that. But 310 a mile right now, that's probably a very conservative figure for fuel on average. So that's what we're going off of. I think all that will even out to where you're about right. So 20,000 gallons a year, $62,180 in fuel year. So a lot of reward points. If you guys got credit cards with reward points like I do, it adds up quick. Usually you can pay for your vacation just in the fuel you bought. But let's go back to it. So we'll sum it up. Prefer not to numb anything up. Let's do the per mile. Per mile. So we got tag and insurance is going to be 0.09926. So that's your tag, insurance, $22.90 figured into that. Maintenance, let's put an M here for maintenance, and looking at 0.42896. Fuel costs, totally hacked that one up right there. Fuel costs, I was looking at 2 different places and got that one pretty good there. Looking at 6218, and then driver. Driver is based on what you want to pay your driver. If you pay him a salary, it's going to be different. You're going to take your salary, divide it by the 100,000 miles, and get that figured out. But you pay him by the mile. If you're paying him every mile, you can use this math. But if you're paying them loaded miles or percentage and all that, you're going to have to figure it up, maybe off last year's figures or whatever. We're going to go off of 48 cents a mile every mile. So if he's leaving the house to go get a biscuit or whatever, or leaving the truck stop, you're going to be paying him 48 cents a mile. So all this comes up to being, add all that up, $1.63 per mile. So $1.63 per mile is what it costs to move a truck. So any brokers out there watching, now you trying to get stuff moved out of Florida, all that stuff, yeah, you say, well, it's covering cost. It's not covering cost. You know, one of my buddies he put some posts on there saying he ain't hauling cheap freight out of Florida, and he got put on blast about that. It was ridiculous. You know, if you and he make good money, he don't need to haul the cheap freight. If you guys need to haul the cheap freight, that's fine and dandy. Some people watch my videos and they say I'm hauling cheap freight. That's fine. If you got something better, hey, that's great, man. Let me know. I'd love to help you out with that better freight. But here's what it costs. It's $1.63 a mile. I know it's a little bit off the screen here. $1.63 is what I'm into. Driver pay, I have a pay guarantee in my driver, so sometimes I'm paying them way more than 48 cents a mile. You know, that's just how it works. But averagely, I'd say, you know, we're in the ballpark. So if you're an owner operator and you're driving yourself and you're pulling for $1.68 a mile, and your maintenance is the same as mine, then you're going to be only making what a driver would make. So keep that in mind. You know, if you got any comments, hit them below. I love to see the comments. You know, people are going to get, I know this is going to be a good one. People are going to be all about hitting the comments down there. But figure out I'm kind of interested to see what your cost per mile is, because I don't have a truck payment. I don't have none of that stuff. Everything's paid for. So obviously, if I had a truck payment, my maintenance would be pretty much the same. Add the truck payment on. Add your trailer payment on. If you factor, add that in. I mean, it ends up being, when you really think about it, there's a lot of people out there that are running in the $2 plus mile just the cost. So you see these loads that are going for $1.80, $1.90 still. It's ridiculous. It's just not there. There's nobody making money. That's how you run yourself into the ground. So if you look at getting into this business, great information behind me, kind of see where you're going to be at. And if you're new at it, just, you know, figure out what your cost is and go from there. Because when you talk to these brokers and you deal with what you're, you know, trying to make a bid or trying to plan something out, you really need to look at the whole big picture. You know, $2 a mile sounds great, and does not sound great when it's $1.63 just to break, you know, just to break even. You're paying your driver, but everything else is money out the door. Stuff you ain't gonna see. I mean, you might make, you know, $300,000, $400,000 a year. All that stuff's gonna suck it right out of you. So keep that in mind. But as always, like the video, stick around. Trucking is back full swing. We're in it again. So stick around. We'll see you in the guys' next video.